What's up, everybody? Long Little Podcast. So, if you like me, basically, you trying to be keeping tabs on like the Ukraine and Russia situation going on lately. So, that's basically what I'm doing. I really ain't trying to get too much into like commentary on that because like if you're like me, like most people, I'm just learning about the situation. Like I really didn't know about the whole history with NATO and Putin and all this. I didn't know about this. You feel me? So when this stuff kicked off, like I'm just literally trying to do research and figure out what the reason is and what the problem is behind it. But obviously, if you watch the news, it's just not a lot of good that you can see happening with that situation right now. I literally just seen a video, like an actual video, not one of these propaganda videos, an actual video of a missile hit one of the buildings, and they said it killed at least 10 people. So obviously not, anything that we're proud of hearing, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, my biggest things like lately, my prayers has been always been sent out for the people in Ukraine that's, from the refugees to people that stand on the front lines, you know what I'm saying? Like a amateur boxer and like a lot of, pro boxer actually going back there. You got the Klitschko brothers, you got I heard Lomachenko, I don't know if you that, I heard Usyk, I don't know if you that either, but yeah, a lot of dudes are going back, to actually try to fight, you know what I'm saying? That's great to hear. But one thing that kind of I guess you can say kind of gave me like a little more hope for the situation. I mean, and it's only so much these people can do. But if you're aware of I guess they call them like a hacking group called Anonymous. They actually decided to put in some work, and I've been keeping tabs like here and there on Anonymous. I like how they do their things. Like they always seem to be on the right side of history in certain situations, Like I remember I was watching this one video, this guy claimed to be Prophet Anonymous. He was saying like whenever he sees ISIS putting up propaganda videos, immediately he's taking them right down. You know what I'm saying? The thing about Anonymous though, they're just random hackers just all across the world basically. Like there's no even the Twitter account that I'm about to speak of in a second, like they is basically not technically linked to, it's not like the official account for Anonymous. Once again, Anonymous is just anybody like from around the world, but it's just ten like high profile hackers in a sense. You know what I'm saying? They, like I said, every time they're usually hacking somebody, they're doing it for like a good reason. If you ask me. Um, so on February 24th, they actually put out a tweet basically saying that they're about to, they was trying to galvanize the anonymous hackers around the world and saying basically it's time to gear up for action, and that's as they did. So I was reading an article by CNBC today. I'll probably put the video up or put the article up in a second. But yeah, basically they started shutting down sites from Russia owned sites. So they shut down one of their oil giant companies called, you gotta take my notes, they called Gazprom, and they hit a news agency, Russian owned, called RT, and they numerous other Russian and Belarusian government agencies they also hit too. And if you look it up, actually these sites were shut down for some time, So it's like it's crazy. I love to, I'm not gonna say, I love to see just I like when people stand for something good, and as far as I can tell from Anonymous and throughout history, they've kind of been doing things for the right reasons. If you ask me, you know. So I'm not gonna say I'm a follower or a lover of Anonymous, but I do appreciate certain things they do. Like even I forgot the child's name that was killed by that cop a long time ago. It was kind of big black kid. Can't think of his name right now, but that cop, like they wasn't standing for that either, and they actually said release the cop's name or we will, and they actually ended up doing that. Um, yeah, they just like I'm just like a fair weather like admirer of Anonymous. I think, like I said, they're throughout what I've seen them doing, they've always been on the right side of history. You know what I'm saying? So in reference to the sites I was hacked down, the one of the anonymous I guess accounts on Twitter, basically they was claiming responsibility for what happened, and they basically declared cyber war on Russia. So basically, yeah, they ain't playing with Russia right now. You know what I'm saying? They have declared official cyber war, and they are shutting down sites. And like I said, it's crazy. Well, not it's crazy in a good way to me to see this. They actually put a statement out that they are trying to push information to the Russian people so they can be free of Putin's censorship machine, and they're trying to keep Ukraine online because apparently Russia is actually doing a cyber attack on Ukraine as well. So basically, Anonymous is saying they're trying to keep Ukraine online throughout the situation. So my little take on everything, I'm not gonna get to a political aspect and about try to act like the most educated guy. Like I said, I'm learning on a daily basis and try to keep tabs on it. I just want to say I'm very appreciative that the people of Ukraine are fighting back. They actually said that they're giving Russia more resistance than was expected. And actually, Russia, they got like this 40-mile line, convoy line that actually I was on news today. I was watching. They basically said that that line is actually stalled. It hasn't moved in the last 24 hours because basically they're running out of food and supplies. So it's nice to see just that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously there's no saying. I used to be in the military myself. If I didn't mention that earlier, basically I was in Fort Hood, Texas, active duty. In 3/8 Cav, and then I got out active duty and I did 2 years in the National Guard. Basically, the old saying is basically that those who want war have never been in it, and because those who have seen combat is not like a pretty place. Like when I was in Fort Hood, there was I used to work on Bradleys. I was infantry. I used to work on Bradleys because it was a mechanized infantry in Fort Hood. I remember one of the sergeants, he was saying like, he saw like actual Bradleys rolling through Iraq when he was stationed there. He was like, I do not want to be on the other side of those. Like he's seen those, Bradleys just, blowing things up and tearing things apart, like so. He was like, I'm glad I was on the U.S. side when those things came through. So you don't know what Bradleys, look it up and you'll see that's what he used to work on. So yeah, so basically, I just like to see the Ukraine's efforts of fighting back and actually provide resistance. They're not just letting Russia roll over them. They're standing up for themselves, and that's what I like to see. President Zelensky, apparently he wasn't the most popular president before this, but I think after this he's gonna be pretty well liked. Because he's standing his ground. He's not rolling over. I think he just made a plea to the European Union to send, like they signed. I believe they signed an agreement. He was asking like them to basically show that they really are there for them and give them some help. U.S. we can only we're trying to do sanctions and whatnot because like I said we can't if we send troops over there, we're basically opening the door for a full scale war, and I don't think anybody wants that. I believe Putin actually made a threat about a nuclear war. I could be misled about that. Certain times you get propaganda, so I could be misled, but I think he did mention that. So it's crazy times. I will ask you guys to keep people in your prayers. When I was in Texas, I actually went to this church and they actually brought like a missionary guy from Moldova, if I'm saying that the country right, and they're actually taking in a lot of refugees that's coming over from Ukraine. So, my biggest thing is just keep people in your prayers, and if you can donate in any way, try to, because it's tough. It really is tough, and it doesn't take too much fun online, like people that actually can help, and not people that's just trying to like scam for money, like so. Find somebody that's actually trying to put in some work and providing help and shit. Yeah, try to donate and do what you can. And if you can't, then like I said, just gather in prayer and just keep these people in your prayers. Cause it's kids that's being killed in this too, and that's like one of the biggest things that you don't want to see in these situations. So furthermore, I just want to go back to something I said earlier about being on the right side of history. I believe that's just a very powerful statement, and that's why I appreciate Anonymous for what they're doing. Because, like I said, I believe they are on the right side of history with everything they're doing. And like I said, it's only so much they can do because they are a cyber, unit, but they're doing what they can. What they specialize in, they're using that to help. So throughout history, we had World War One, Two, we had Iraq War, and Afghanistan, we had Civil War. You know, throughout all those, you always had somebody that found themselves on the right side of history. They stood for what was right, and even against the rejection, the hatred of or the ire of others. You know what I'm saying? They stood. So I just want anybody that in any situation in life, try to be on the right side of history. And this is a time where I believe we all need to stick together. Um, just like the people of Ukraine. Let them be the example of what we can do in America. We can actually work together, stick together, and stand up for what's right. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I gotta say. And keep fighting. Obviously, nobody's agreeing with what Russia's doing. Even there's actual Russian protests in Russia. You know what I'm saying? They're making like I believe they had last time I checked it was like over 1,000 arrests for people that was protesting. And just the whole world is really saying like they don't agree with this. So like I said, just keep people in your prayers and help wherever you can or however you can and. Let's learn from this situation. Let's hope it doesn't escalate any further. Seeing that video of the missile attack was kind of, not, what I want to see. And last time I checked, they were closing in on the capital. Kiev, or I'm not sure how to say it. These words are not familiar to me. Like I said, I'm learning. So, yeah, do whatever you can. And much love to y'all. And peace, love, and respect until next time.